Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson.
Good morning. Welcome to Daily Tech News. My name is Alan Smithson. Today is Tuesday, July 16th, and today is all about AI. We have some other stuff at the end of the show, but today is all about AI because OpenAI is working on what I guess was formerly called QStar and now is called Strawberry. So let's dive into it. Let's check it out. But first, let me read this to you. This is a post I put this morning about an hour ago. Nothing to worry about. Just keep making AI. Emergence of superintelligence may be sudden. It appears much harder to get from where we are now to human-level artificial intelligence than to get from there to superintelligence. Well, it may take quite a while before we get to superintelligence. The final stage may happen swiftly. That is the transition from a state where we have roughly human-level artificial intelligence to a state where we have full-blown superintelligence with revolutionary applications may be very rapid, perhaps a matter of days rather than years. This possibility of a sudden emergence of superintelligence is referred to as the Singularity Hypothesis. That's from 1993 and 1998. Artificial intellects need not have human-like motives. Humans are rarely willing slaves. But there is nothing implausible about the idea of a superintelligence having its super goal to serve humanity or some particular human, with no desire whatsoever to revolt or liberate itself. It also seems perfectly possible to have a superintelligence whose sole goal is completely arbitrary, such as manufacturing as many paperclips as possible, and who would resist with all its might any attempt to alter this goal. For better or worse, artificial intellects need not share our human motivational tendencies. It seems that the best way to ensure that a superintelligence will have the beneficial impact on the world is to endow it with a philanthropic values. Its top goal should be friendliness. How exactly friendliness should be understood and how it should be implemented, and how the amity should be apportioned between different people and non-human creatures is a matter that merits further consideration. I would argue that at least all humans and probably many other sentient creatures on Earth should get a significant share in the superintelligence beneficence. If the benefits that superintelligence could bestow are enormously vast, then it may be less important to haggle over the detailed distribution pattern and more important to seek to ensure that everyone gets at least some significant share. Since, on this supposition, even a tiny share would be enough to guarantee a very long and very good life. One risk that must be guarded against is that those who develop the superintelligence would not make it generically philanthropic, but would instead give it a more limited goal of serving only a small group, such as its own creators or those who commissioned it. Basically what this is saying is let's not make superintelligence in service of a very small few of people. Let's make it in service of all of humanity. And my hashtag there, we should probably be careful, stands. Okay, now the reason I wanted to read you that was because OpenAI is rolling out strawberry fields of AGI. They have a new thing called Strawberry, and the benchmark scores are off the roof. Okay, so it says here, the company shared a new 5-level classification system with employees on Tuesday, July 9th last week, and plans to release it to investors and others outside the company. So I guess we are the first to see this. The hierarchy of AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. AGI is defined by OpenAI as a highly autonomous system surpassing humans in most economically valuable tasks. So level 1, chatbots, AI with conversational language. Level 2, reasoners, human-level problem solving. Level 3, agents, systems that can take actions. Level 4, innovators, AI that can aid in invention. Level 5 is organizations, AI that can do the work of an organization. And I'm going to add level 6, superintelligence, when it does everything better, R&D, innovation, forward thinking. Really, it's setting the goals for humanity instead of us setting the goals for that. So OpenAI intends to use Strawberry to perform research and quickly obtain a solid grasp on level 2 above. Some sources inside the company have suggested that OpenAI sees its product as being in between level 1 and level 2, which I do agree with. And so today's chatbots like ChatGPT are level 1. OpenAI is claiming it's nearing level 2. Level 3 is agents that can operate on your behalf. We're already starting to see agents now, so it's not a far stretch that this would be coming to us very, very soon. And by 2030, we're going to have 1 million times stronger GPTs. Okay, OpenAI is testing its powers of persuasion. Sam Altman is touting AI's ability to sway people's behavior. His company is also wrestling with the risk. The ability of AI to make you buy things, to convince you to do things, is absolutely through the roof. I just saw a study this morning that showed 9 out of 10 students prefer talking to an AI rather than a human. And it can persuade them better than a human. Insane. So this week, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, and Arianna Huffington, founder of CEO of health company Thrive Global, published an article in Time touting Thrive AI, a startup backed by Thrive and OpenAI's startup fund. The piece suggests that AI could have a huge positive impact on public health by talking people into a healthier behavior. I do not doubt this, but it could also be used to talk them into buying things they don't want or need. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's try to make sure that this stays on the positive front. Okay, OpenAI nears reasoning capability AI. This is another article that's talking about the different levels of AI there, but I wanted to just include it because they talk about a project named Strawberry. It's the current version of an effort Reuters reported last year under a different name, Q-Star. So Strawberry seems to be the new name for Q-Star. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, the first AI-powered storytelling teddy bear is here. I gave it to my kids to test. Poe is an animated talking teddy bear that uses ChatGPT to generate children's stories. I took it for an early test run, and bedtime got strange. Okay. Wow. It says here, Los Angeles toy maker Skyrocket is launching Poe as part of a Pronounced Play, its AI-powered toy brand. Skyrocket made a multi-year partnership with the AI speech company 11 Labs to provide the voice of Poe and the future of PLA toys. No two stories Poe tells are alike. Stories are generated using Microsoft Azure and ChatGPT 4o, and they're served up on demand with a kid-friendly app. And it says here, Poe is a stuffed plush that's powered by 4 AA batteries, needs an app to generate new stories, and the audio files are created and then sent to the bear via Bluetooth. So you basically create the stories on your phone or your tablet and then send it over the bear. And very interesting here. The bear's childlike voice is also fabricated by AI, which turns text to speech. All of this happens within a few moments of hitting the Make Up Story button on the app. I found it generates a story in about 30 seconds. Incredible. It'll be able to tell stories in 20 languages. Now, the question is, would you give this to your kid? Would you give an AI bear to your kid? That's a great question. I don't know if I would or not. But maybe if it's educational, we'll see. AI tools help journalists assess authenticity images in immediate aftermath of Trump shooting. Part of my 2024 predictions was that AI was going to be used for political means. This is not what I had in mind. I did not foresee that somebody would try to shoot the former president, and that is a horrific thing, and we should be all against that and really pushing to stop the whole confrontations between red and blue. If you look at America and it's not red and blue, it's really quite purple. And so let's make sure that we don't divide ourselves into oblivion here. But basically what's happening here is journalists are using AI to check the authenticity of images, and so that they, because some are being AI generated, but this iconic image of Trump rallying against being shot in the ear is going to be one of those things that stands with us and stands the test of time. But the idea here is that we're going to be able to look at photos and go, is that AI or not? And so True Media, as much as it would like to be a silver bullet, is only a partial solution. So True Media is a company that does true or false. Is this true or is it not? And gives a rating based on that. So AI to see if things are real is interesting, because for so long it's like, are you a human? Click this button. And now the AI is asking us to prove if we're human. Now we've got to prove if it's AI. Okay, using AI to better map 3D spaces using 2D images. This is really cool because it says here, Most autonomous vehicles use powerful AI programs called vision transformers to take 2D images from multiple cameras and create a representation of a 3D space around the vehicle. However, while these AI programs take a different approach, there's still substantial room for improvement. Our technique, called multi-view attentive contextualization, is a plug-and-play supplement that can be used in conjunction with these existing vision transformer AIs to improve their ability to map 3D spaces. The vision transformers are getting any additional data from their cameras. They're just able to make use of the data. This is really cool. So without any extra sensors or anything, they're just making better sense of it, and this is just going to get better and better and better. We're going to have fully autonomous vehicles in no time. So I wanted to read this and just share this with you. This is where I got some of the quotes from this morning. Ethical issues in advanced artificial intelligence. If you don't know who Nick Bostrom is, he's a scientist, an AI scientist who wrote a book called Superintelligence. I have a copy of it here. I read it. It is phenomenal, and I would highly recommend it. But this article here, it's very short, 7 pages, talks about ethical issues in advanced artificial intelligence, and I won't get into all the details, but basically it talks about superintelligence is any intellect that is vastly outperforms the best human brains in practically every field, including scientific creativity, general wisdom, and social skills. And so yeah, it's a whole article on why superintelligence is different, what we have to do to prepare for this, and make sure that we don't mess it up. That's all I have to say about that one. All right. And I will put the links to all of these in the comments of the YouTube video. As always, make sure you hit subscribe, because this is getting more traction every day, and I'm very excited. So share with your friends, hit subscribe, take the little link, share it to your friends, say this is a great show. I would appreciate it. Virga, one of the most powerful AI supercomputers, launched in Australia. The system features NVIDIA's new H100 Tensor Core GPUs with 94 gigs of high bandwidth memory, enhanced deep learning, machine learning, and AI applications. So they've got this massive computer in Australia, and it's super exciting because it's rated 72nd out of 500 machines, the top 500 machines in the world. It costs $14.5 million. Incredible. So I'll leave it at that. Oh, there you go. There's a little bit of a look at the speeds, and you can see the different computers over time. We're just made these are exponentials. The gigaflops on the left here is gigaflops per second, and if you look at it's exponential things. So this is not a linear curve. This is an exponential curve. It just happens to be represented in a linear way. But we are getting really, really fast compute speeds here, and we're at 10 to the power of 8 gigaflops per second now. Holy moly. So what can you do with that? Make pictures like this. Make pictures of cats made out of oranges. I thought this was super cool. Dogs made out of bananas. Looks like a goat made out of bananas and butter. Tiger made out of bananas. Super cool. Anyway, a little fun and a day where we're talking about superintelligence. Okay, over to this, beyond GPUs in a Terra and the quiet uprising of AI hardware. Look at that tiny little thing. It says here, while much of the tech world remains fixated on the large language models powered by NVIDIA GPUs, a quieter revolution is brewing in AI hardware as the limitations and energy demands of traditional deep learning architectures become increasingly apparent. A new paradigm called neuromorphic computing is emerging, one that promises to slash the computational and power requirements of AI by orders of magnitude. You have my attention now. So, what is a neuromorphic system? It's neuromorphic processors are designed to mimic the way the human brain processes information. Rather than performing sequential operations on data stored in memory, neuromorphic chips use networks of artificial neurons that communicate through spikes, much like real neurons. Very cool information. You can dig into that. I'll put the link in the comments of the YouTube video. Beyond silicon. So if you know anything about chip manufacturing, semiconductors, we've been using silicon, which is this fantastic material. It's basically sand, and we refine it, and then we put it into these giant big pieces, and then we cut it into wafers, very, very thin wafers, and then we etch it using a photolithography process where we put a chemical on, and then we hit it with some light, and it creates these little chips. But we are getting to the absolute limits of what's possible with that, because we're getting down to the 1 nanometer sizes here. And to put it in perspective, a human hair is 30,000 nanometers thick. So beyond silicon, how atom-thin materials are revolutionizing chips. This is really neat here. This is an artist's depiction of a missing chalcogen atom in the middle layer of a bulk transition metal dichalcogenide. And so yeah, I won't get into this too much because it does get very nerdy, but it says here, silicon computer chips have served us well for more than half a century. The tiniest features on the chips currently sold are 3 nanometers, a startlingly small size given that the human hair is roughly, 80,000 nanometers wide. Holy moly. Reducing the size of features on the chip will help us meet our endless need for memory and processing power in the palm of our hand, but the limit can be achieved with standard procedures and materials is near. All of our existing electronic devices use chips made of silicon, which is a 3-dimensional material. Now many companies are investing in a lot of chips made up of 2-dimensional materials. And the materials actually exist in 3 dimensions, but they are so thin, only made up of a few layers of atoms, that scientists have taken to calling them 2D. And that is exciting. We are going to push the limits of Moore's Law even further. This is super cool. This is Porsche is using a new experience in the Apple Vision Pro to showcase their new 911, and it is a beautiful experience. Check it out. So this isn't real. This is all done in CG. So you put on the headset, and then the car appears, and you can see inside the car. You can see the engines. How great is that? What a great use case. And to give you kind of more context on that, let's take a look here. This is CarWow. All right, here we go.
Remove the bodywork so we can see all the components. I'm going to count you in. Ready? I'm going to time you. You've got 1 minute, 18 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, in the front you see our high voltage battery. It has 400 volt and 216 single cells inside, and we have a capacity from 1.9 kilowatt hours. And then you see the orange cable who goes through the car, past the gearbox. Into the gearbox is the electrical machine, and here you see all the electrical control units, components, and DC-DC converter. Then you have the engine. Complete new development engine, 3.6 liter, 6-cylinder boxer. And on the right side, you see a single turbocharger, and this is our hero. It's a name giver. It's a name giver of the.
What an incredible way to show something you cannot show in real life. Here's a Porsche. They take the shell off it. You can look underneath it. You can look at all the pieces. What a fantastic way to showcase the insides of a car. Congratulations, Porsche and the team that built that. Okay, over to this. Self-organizing drone flock demonstrates safe traffic solution for smart cities. So as we move away from cars and we move to flying cars, or eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, we're going to need a way to make sure we don't crash into each other. And so these researchers are using an idea of a self-organized drone flock, like a swarm intelligence kind of thing. And here, I'll just play the video. Check it out.
Over our heads in 3 dimensions, with the emergent number of drones that need to be integrated into the common airspace to replicate the same smooth and efficient behavior with non-human autonomous vehicles is a very interesting scientific and technical challenge.
In my group, we have been studying over more than 20 years the collective behavior, the way animals and people move together. We have learned a number of important unwritten rules they follow in order to produce these sometimes very beautiful motion patterns. They are very good in avoiding conflicts, and this is a very important feature when one is interested in designing an autonomous flock of drones. So our drone flocks are now capable of reproducing this sometimes mesmerizing collective motion of birds by using bio-inspiration and the latest technological advances.
Our algorithm for decentralized traffic management combines real-time path planning and bio-inspired sense and avoid methods. We design our solution to handle different velocities and priorities between the agents, as well as using the third dimensions by stacking planar layers of traffic upon each other. Our solution is proven by simulation.
Imagine instead of having one layer of traffic where we got to go, 12 lanes wide, we can just go up. You can have half the traffic going one way, half the traffic coming at a different height. 3 dimensions opens up the end of traffic as we know it. Okay, a novel 2D device for quantum cooling converts heat to voltage at ultra low temperatures. As you may know, the big problem with quantum computing is that as you increase the number of qubits, you enter these kind of coherence problems where as it gets warmer, because the actual qubits are generating a bit of heat, you've got to keep them cold, almost like 0 Kelvin. And so being able to cool these is really difficult. It says to perform quantum computations, quantum bits or qubits must be cooled to temperatures in the millikelvin range, close to minus 273 Celsius, to slow down atomic motion and minimize noise. However, the electronics used to manage these quantum circuits generate heat, which is difficult to remove at such temperatures. Most current technologies therefore separate quantum circuits from their electrical components, causing noise and inefficiencies that hinder the realization of larger quantum systems. Researchers have now fabricated a device that not only operates at extremely low temperatures, but does so with efficiency comparable to the current systems at room temperature. Wow, we are the first to create a device that matches the conversion efficiency of current technologies, but that operates at the low magnetic fields and ultra low temperatures required for quantum systems. The work is truly a step ahead. So very, very interesting stuff there. And as we get more quantum computers on board or online, we will start to see incredible leaps in technology like we've never seen in human history. And of course, we're already starting to see it. A new quantum computer smashes quantum supremacy record by a factor of 100, and it consumes 30,000 times less power. The 56-qubit H21 computer has broken the previous record for quantum supremacy set by Google in 2019. And it says a new quantum computer has broken the record, and that was set by Google Sycamore by 100-fold. The new 56-qubit computer, scientists at quantum computing company Quantinum ran various experiments to benchmark the machine's performance levels and the quality of the qubits used. They published their results in June 4. The study has not been peer-reviewed, but to demonstrate the potential of quantum computer, they used a well-known algorithm to measure how noisy or error-prone qubits were. And this is a big problem with qubits, is that they have this kind of interference. And so quantum computers can perform calculations in parallel thanks to the law of quantum mechanics and entanglement between qubits, meaning the fates of different qubits can instantly change each other. Classical computers, by contrast, work in sequence. So you can go, let's say you have 100 different questions to ask. And a traditional computer will go and solve one, and then the next, and then the next, and the next. Quantum will solve all of them at once and give you the answers. So it's really exciting, and the largest machine today only has about 1,000 qubits. To be really practical use, we need at least 1 million qubits, probably orders of magnitude larger than that, and it's just something we got to work through. Okay, using copper to convert CO2 to methane is really, really exciting too. The ability to use this interchanging system where they take CO2, they use copper, they convert it back to methane, they burn the methane for energy, that methane creates CO2, they take the CO2, so it's a cyclical carbon loop, which is really interesting stuff. And here, we'll just take a look here.
As we know, CO2 is a major contributor to global warming. If we can capture that CO2 and convert that CO2 into fuels, then capture that CO2 again, we avoid introducing more CO2 into the atmosphere. One promising approach is to convert CO2 into fuels like methane through a process called electrocatalysis. Electrocatalysis is like a reactor which uses renewable electricity to convert CO2 to different products. We use copper catalysts with different sizes, from small ones with only 19 atoms to larger ones with 1,000 atoms. For this specific project, we use SXRNB beamline. Our top findings were that extremely small copper particles are very effective at being able to convert CO2 into methane.
Awesome. That is super cool. We are just getting better and better across all things. The last thing I got here is nano confinement may be the key to improving hydrogen production. If we can get hydrogen production to be a very low carbon efficient, or a carbon efficient, low carbon generating thing, then we can power devices. Yesterday we saw a drone that flew 500 miles on using hydrogen. So if we can use hydrogen as a fuel, then we'll be able to do this. It says here, hydrogen production via electrochemical water splitting has long been considered the holy grail of electrochemistry. A key for widespread deployment of this technology is the development of an active, durable, yet affordable electrocatalytic system. And so they've got some new studies on that, and I will put it in the links of the chat. That is all I have for you today. Today is Tuesday, July 16th, and I really appreciate you watching. And this has been Daily Tech News. I hope you have a wonderful day, and make sure you get some nature, because all this technology is nothing without nature, without our friends and our family. So go spend some time in nature with your friends and family. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.